Jasprit Bumrah troubled them at the start. Bhuvneshwar Kumar at the end, and the wrist spinners in the middle broke the back of South Africa's batting. 227 was still managed. At one stage it looked like they wouldn't bat their 50 overs, but for a 66-run partnership of 59 balls for the 8th wicket between Chris Morris and Andile Petlukwayo, and it could have made for even poorer reading for that South African scorecard. Just the same, they still have something to bowl to. We have seen Sri Lanka defend a reasonably slow score yesterday. They did, albeit it was against Afghanistan, but things can happen. 227 is where we stand at halftime. This is ESPN Cricket for Matchday UK 2019. In just a bit, we'll hear from Heinrich Klaasen from the South African perspective, also from Murli Karthik and Alexis Nunes standing by in Southampton. First up, Ajit Agarkar and Darren Ganga. Ajit, would you be pleased by that? You said it was a toss that Virat Kohli in about 50 overs may not mind losing, and it turned out to be a good day to bowl first up.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot in it. I think Bumrah's just on a different planet at the moment. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar was just honest, steady, but Bumrah just created enough that, just to get those two openers out, especially when the team's down, like South Africa. Odd ball sort of skidded through straight on, kept a bit low, but nothing dangerous. I mean, South Africa should have got another 50-70 runs at least. If not more. So tells you where they are at, and India just once they got a little bit of a chance, and then the bowlers to follow just kept the pressure on, kept picking wickets, some soft dismissals.
Yes,
but India very good.
If anything, that partnership at the end showed us that had South Africa had a slightly more solid start, they could have very well challenged India with the score. Again, top order to play him, Darren?
Yeah, rugged action proving to be invaluable in this instance. I think what it shows that the South African team is not decisive in their thinking. To be quite frank, I think they looked a little bit timid in the manner in which they approached their batting, tentative to play forward. Some of the players went put under pressure with a couple deliveries, choosing the wrong options. You saw Van der Dusen, a full delivery on leg stump, playing the reverse sweep. I felt against the spinners as well, I wanted to see a little more courage on the part of the South African batsmen. Guys trying to use their feet, come down the pitch, because it wasn't really turning that much. But you never saw the South Africans impose themselves on this Indian batting lineup. Maybe because of the early wickets, maybe because of the 2 losses before. But a side like South Africa, who's been so consistent in World Cup cricket, you expect that their mindset will be a little more aggressive in terms of body language, in terms of intent.
All right, let me go to Heinrich Klaasen now. Heinrich, and you've watched this South African performance, and you must have sympathized with that middle order. But like I did say at the pre-show as well, playing the wrist spin, which you have done successfully in your brief career so far for South Africa, would have been the key. Darren makes the point he would have liked to see a little more intent, a little more imposition of South Africa's batsmen on the Indian spinners. Was that where the game really went, the loss of Faf du Plessis and Van der Dusen's wickets?
Definitely. Against the spinners, it just didn't look like someone was willing to do the hard work and bat for 30 overs or in that middle period. I thought Rassie and Faf at the beginning, when they didn't sweep, I thought they would have done the hard work there for a while, and then they got put under pressure by some good bowling and just by disciplined bowling. And then 1 or 2 loose shots just made a little bit of a collapse, and then a good partnership between Miller and Andile. Andile looked to put the bowlers a little bit under pressure, and that looked like it became a little bit easier. And then I thought he pulled the trigger a little bit too early, show his cards too early. If he could have batted for another 5-6 overs with Morris at the end, we could have maybe got to 260. So a little bit of ill discipline again from the batting unit, not willing to do the hard yards and bat for 50 overs for someone getting 80 of 110 balls in the conditions that they would dish up today, and some good bowling by the Indian bowlers as well. It's just it's surprising.
All right.
We should wait till South Africa bowl on it or India bat on it, because sometimes it looked like there was an odd ball sort of skidding low, or skidding through a little bit of too pace in it. Whether that was actually happening or it's more in the minds of the South Africans at the moment, we'll have to wait till India bats on it. So, but from what it looks from here, at least on TV, it's not a wicket where you should be getting bowled out at the score that South Africa did. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, when India bat, it'll show us a bit more.
Yeah, nearly bowled out South Africa. 9 wickets for 227 at the end of this performance after winning the toss and batting first. So let's go straight now to Southampton, where Alexis Nunes is waiting alongside Murali Karthik, and I'm eager to hear what Karthik made of his. Alexis, take it away, please.
About time, guys, because I'm here with Murali and he's been itching to talk about India's bowling. And I know, of course, we said that this probably looked like India's match to win on paper, but of course cricket is played out there. Let's start off with Jasprit Bumrah, because dismissing South Africa's opener so quickly, reducing them to 24 for 2, that just really set the tone for this bowling attack.
Yeah, and exactly. We spoke about the fact that there are some overheads, but it didn't do that much. The wicket looks really good, and we've seen that just the way he started off just set the tone against two really good batsmen. And Ajit was spot on. I think he's just looking at a different league. And also, I feel, and I'm possibly sticking my neck out and saying this, I think he's more indispensable to this Indian side than anyone else. The way he's going on, the way he sets the tempo, and he's like a all-time any wicket. Give the ball to me is kind of a bowler, and I think that's just special. After that, just the way everyone else carried on. Yes, South Africans were in a bit of a tangle as to what to do, but you have to give credit. Once again, those two spinners coming in, bowling in tandem together, in between. Some of those deliveries were really special. The one which got Faf du Plessis, even the ones hurrying on towards. So they've just been an out-and-out good performance. I completely agree with the panelists out there. It was not that kind of a surface where you can be 221 for 9. It is definitely a good surface, and also something to bowl 85 for 5 or 89 for 5 at one stage, and I think they've done well to get to 229.
Well, as much as we want to wax lyrical about Jasprit Bumrah, and we can all day, every day, he actually didn't end up with the most wickets, surprisingly, because Yuzvendra Chahal, 4 wickets out there. Why was he enjoying himself so much out there?
I think, look, he's been bowling really well. You have to give it to him, just the way he varied his pace. And Ajit is, again, right, sitting in the studio, sometimes you don't get to see what we get to see here in the stadium. The way he changed his pace, some of the balls which just drifted in, you're shaping to play a drive and the ball drops on you or it goes towards you. I think these are things which you see sitting here in the stadium, and both the bowlers, both the spinners, sometimes you don't end up with the kind of wickets you get, but Chahal was special. Chahal has been bowling really well. Just the way he's getting the ball to zip off the surface, and I think that is something which you need to give credit to, especially with this white ball and on English surfaces.
A lot of credit was going, I saw on Twitter, to the spin twins, as they were calling them, and we know Indians definitely love that. So 228 is the target. Again, you would look like India should be able to walk to this, but we know never to underestimate anyone. So how do they approach this chase?
I'm pretty sure that they've got a plan in for it, especially the way Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma play. They do understand each other really well. Virat Kohli, yes, has been getting starts, and hopefully he wants to convert if he gets a chance. But you're right, they should cruise this. It's a good surface. South Africa, with all those bowlers missing, I don't think there should be a trouble, but you're right. It's a simple game where funny things and strange things do happen.
Crazier things have happened indeed. So much so that the sun has come out. That was a little bit crazy, but it's gone away now.
It's been flitting in.
Even though Murali put his glasses on.
It's been flitting in and out. That's why I've got my glasses on.
I think he just wants to look cool. But there you have it, guys. I mean, Murali agreeing with Ajit on more than one occasion. So I'm sure Ajit's a happy bunny now. Aren't you, Ajit?
I would have been happier if he'd not got the glasses on.
I agree. Yeah. I'm with you entirely. And don't lie to us, Murali Karthik. That sun hasn't shown up for a second from the pictures that we are seeing. But anyway, we expect you to forecast better, and therefore you are there. He is. That's better. We're seeing those lovely eyes of Murali Karthik now. Murali Karthik and Alexis Nunes, thank you very much for joining us. We'll continue getting your thoughts from Southampton. Right, let's focus on those aspects that Alexis and Karthik touched upon. First, 2 elements to this South African innings. One, the new ball versus Jasprit Bumrah, where they lost both openers, and then just as Faf du Plessis and Rassie van der Dussen were building back when Yuzvendra Chahal struck. So let's start with the new ball. Let's get Ajit's thoughts. You said he's just bowling on a different planet. Did he get the best out of just the best time, or was it credit again to Bumrah, who seemed to really crank it up in that first spell?
No, I mean, I felt at the start that it was what wasn't the worst toss to lose for Virat Kohli. Sometimes you don't quite know what the conditions are. I mean,
but you've seen more grit though from South Africa's batsmen, or was Quinton de Kock?
Also, another thing I saw, I mean, Quinton de Kock smiling after getting beaten every time. I'm not a big fan of it. I know they both played for the same team in the IPL, so they know each other well. Almost acknowledging that, you know,
he's got the better of him.
Yeah, may not. You know, I don't know. He's Darren Ganga, the batsman, and he might be able to tell us.
Do you concede? I like this chat.
I'm not a
if
big
you're
fan of doing that.
If you're a fast bowler and you're beating your batsman time and time again, and he has a smile down, do you feel somewhere I've got his number? I'm on top of this right now. Does it?
Yeah,
help?
I mean, if I was getting whacked around the park, you know, I wouldn't be smiling just because I've played for the same team with him. I think sometimes a bit too much. A lot of time, even after Hashim Amla got out and Faf du Plessis came and I think inside edge Bumrah for a boundary, and there's a little bit of a smile of almost acknowledgement that he's too good at the moment. I think you also want to see, as a bowler, I'd be really happy if there's not a lot of intent shown from the opposition to try and put a bit more pressure on him, as well as Bumrah's bowling. And I'm sure it's very difficult at the moment to get a hold of him.
I'd love to go the other way with you. Fast bowler who's getting the better of you at the moment, would you sort of just want to not give anything away, or is that giving you a little bit?
I spoke about the body language and letting the opposition know that you're competing. If you're smiling with a bowler that is getting the better of you, I think you're giving the initiative to that bowler, you're letting them take control. Again, that is what the point that I'm making. The point I'm making is they must show that they're here to compete. South Africa, which is something they didn't do in terms of their performance and in terms of their body language as well. And I think that example that Ajit is talking about is a prime example where South Africa showed that, you know, they have a casual approach, if not so.
Okay, before I move to Hendrik, let's just discuss the other bit too. Yuzvendra Chahal against the middle order. It looked like Faf du Plessis and Rassie van der Dussen, who was promoted ahead of David Miller, were doing the job. Let's talk about the two wickets. And Rassie's wicket in particular, as a batsman, there's too much premeditation going on there. What happened in that period for you, Darren?
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you think about your game and you devise a strategy when you're coming up against a certain opposition, and you know the biggest threat in this Indian team are their two spin bowlers. So you have at the back of your mind the reverse sweep, the sweep shot to be an effective approach towards scoring runs. But there's a double-edged sword to that as well. If you premeditate too much and you choose the wrong delivery, you can easily find yourself like Rassie van der Dussen. It was a full delivery, could have easily stroked that down to mid-on or picked the gap wide of mid-on as well. It didn't happen for him. I think even you looked at when JP Duminy came to the crease.
Yes.
Nearly every delivery that was straight on him, he was looking to sweep the ball. In fact, one, he just managed to keep it out. He was attempting the sweep and then adjusted. So I think, you know, they were playing straight into the hands of the spinners, the Indian spinners. I would have preferred to see them use their feet more, you know, get to the pitch of the ball very early in the innings and really sort of signal to the Indian bowlers that, hey, listen, if you're off your length, we're going to score.
Yeah. A quick word from you, Hendrik, on playing the spin and what sort of goes into the minds of a South African batsman when they're thinking, you know, preparing against Chahal, Kuldeep. One thing we tend to say is those who haven't played Kuldeep before, it's hard work. But a lot of these South African batsmen were part of the team when Kuldeep and Chahal were in South Africa. Many of them have played them in the IPL too. I think with the exception of Rassie van der Dussen, everyone would have had enough experience playing Chahal and Kuldeep. Are you disappointed with the sort of intent shown?
Definitely. Back then when they came to visit South Africa, we really had a game plan about the guys that really do sweep well need to try to sweep as much as possible to try to get them off the lines a little bit and be quite aggressive against them so they don't settle like they settled today. And we know what they can do when you're tentative against the two spinners, then you just play into their hands. So for me to see other guys started against them, there was a phase where Faf and Rassie, it really looked easy for them just to knock it around, going at 4-5s and over, build a good partnership, and then out of the blue a couple of sweep shots. Faf also missed 2-3 sweep shots after he got hit on the fingers. So for me, it just looked on that wicket, it's easier just to nudge it around and look to bat for a long period of time than to really try